Do you want to feel love in your life? Of course you do. You want to feel love in your career and what you do for a living. You want to feel love in your relationships with your family, with your friends, with everybody you interact with. Every action you take is an attempt to feel that profound love and joy inside of you. That's why you think about different options. What decision do I want to make? What do I want to do for a living? Do I want to date this person or that person? Do I want to go to this restaurant today or do I want to go to that restaurant? Every decision, no matter how minor, what's really at the root of that is you projecting and thinking about how that experience is going to make you feel. Okay. And the drive and desire to feel love is perfectly natural. It's the deepest drive we have as souls. The problem arises when we attach that love to the external condition, thinking that this is going to make me happy, right? I just had that experience recently where, I was kind of thinking about the future possibilities of somebody I was about to start dating and thinking, oh, wouldn't it be great if we're just compatible and we're having a great time together? And wouldn't that be a lot of fun? And then what happened today is she just said, I don't want to continue this. I don't want to date. And there's a reason I'm telling you all this, by the way. That then made me feel down and sort of depressed for a few hours. I was like, oh man, like I thought there was really some potential in this to have a lot of enjoyment. And because the first couple times we had hung out, I felt good about it and it was a lot of fun just, talking with her and whatnot. Um, so, that's where the mistake comes in, right? Just using my example for you is I should have just taken that experience and not then went ahead and put expectations on it and put, okay, here's how this can look in the future. And we're constantly doing this with every aspect of our lives. Oh, wouldn't it be so great if I got a raise in that job I was in? Or if I changed my career, wouldn't this be so amazing? We're constantly attaching our happiness onto circumstances in our minds, but what you're going to realize is it never gets there. Because even once you achieve that, maybe you're happy for a little while, but then something goes wrong. You see, what the spiritual path is all about is changing that love from being conditional to being unconditional. Because love is who you are. It's not something you need to find. It's not some circumstance you need to change in your life so that now you can feel that love. It's who you are, and that's what we need to realize. Because what we've done is we've put ourselves in a box of, I need everything around me in my life to look a very specific way, and that's the only way that I'm going to be happy. And if somebody says something that I don't like, and this isn't really conscious, but this is how it ends up looking like. If somebody says something that I don't like, if I don't get the exact thing I wanted, I'm not going to feel that love. And why would you put a limit on yourself when who you are as a soul made in the image of God is unconditional boundless love? That's what the purpose of our life is. Make that the purpose of your life, to stop clinging, to stop running away from things, and to just be in the present moment and love whatever unfolds. And it's probably not going to happen overnight. Maybe it will. Maybe you can just make that decision. But this is what our life is all about, is becoming conscious of the way the mind and the heart operate. How somebody says one little thing, you were in a good mood. Now all of a sudden you're feeling a little angry, you're feeling a little sad. Why is that? Why is it that something in the external world can impact how you're feeling internally? It doesn't have to be that way. The more we advance on the spiritual path, the more we surrender to the life that's around us, to the lessons we need to learn, the more we have faith in God to sustain us, to give us the experiences we need, we can then embody the boundless love that comprises who we are at the deepest level of our beings. And we can live in that state of ecstasy, of boundless joy. And that's where meditation comes in. That's where you're first going to start to have that experience of that profound love and expansion. But it's not just when you're on the meditation cushion. Our whole life, every moment, is an opportunity for us to advance on the spiritual path, for us to let go of these attachments, these things we're clinging to, these things we're running away from. That stuff's going to come back up. The body knows how to process this. It's going to come up through the heart, which is going to manifest its thoughts in the mind. And what we're called to do is not get lost in that. Don't get lost in the thought of the mind. Go deeper into the heart, into the root of what's bothering you. And don't get lost in that. Go deeper into the love that is underneath all the suffering that you've experienced in your life. That's the reason why we suffer, is to learn to not be attached to things in this material world, because it always ends up in disappointment. It always ends up, until we get to the place where we're anchored in divine love and we recognize ourselves and embody that essence of our true being of light and love and joy. Once we get to that place, then we can fully experience our lives in that state of consciousness. But until we're there, the purpose of our life is to learn not to place our happiness and our expectations and our hopes and our desires and attachments and our fears on these external circumstances. Our goal and our mission in life is to unwire that, to introspect and see how we're doing this, and take steps such as meditation, such as being mindful, such as practicing the presence of God. These are the steps we need to take to radically transform and improve our lives. And it's likely that if you're watching this video, a lot of what I've just said is nothing that you haven't heard before. But the question I have for you is, when is this going to stop being a mental masturbation exercise where you're listening to spiritual teachers, you're reading all these books, but when the rubber hits the road, you're falling back on old paradigms, on old beliefs and attachments. And I understand it's a process, and I'm sure you have been working on this, but I just want to encourage you to take that step further and really think about what this means for your life, and how you can make your whole life an expression of freeing yourself. How can you make every moment of your life an opportunity to free yourself so that your love's not so conditional? You're only hurting yourself by doing this. You're not going to lose anything. It's not like, oh, I'm going to miss my old way of being and being attached to all these things. Once you're free, you're free. You don't need any of that. Any happiness that was derived from that object or from that experience is right inside of yourself. And it's only going to make all those experiences you do have all the more joyful, because you're not clinging to it, or you're not afraid of losing it, or afraid of it, So use this as an opportunity to change your life. Every moment, you can work on yourself. You can let something go. You you'll know what to do if you listen to your intuition and let your faith and your higher self guide you. Stay blessed. I'll see you on the next one.